Many years ago, I dated a girl who grew up in a country that had hyperinflation. And she recalls, she was 5, 6 years old at the time, but she recalls her family, as soon as they would get paid, they were getting paid like every other day or every 3 days because of how bad the inflation was. As soon as they would get paid, they would quickly go buy cigarettes. And then later that week, they could trade cigarettes for other things. They had street markets where they live. Obviously, here in the United States, I don't think it would work as well. But it made me wonder what we would use as an emergency currency nowadays. Very few people smoke, especially where I live in Seattle. I think the smoking rate is 10-15%. Where she lived, the smoking rate used to be closer to 50%. Um, but a lot of people bake with chocolate, and I would say this is much more compact for the value you get out of it. I mean, a pack of cigarettes about the same size, and it goes for more on the street, but then again, only 10-15% of the people actually will use it in some way. Most people have some value in baking chocolate, and as much as most people don't like to eat it straight, I think when people are hungry, they'll settle for it. And I like the way the bars are divisible, especially the new ones. Uh, you can break them into, I think they come in 16 squares a bar. Right now, where I live, these are going for about $2 each. So it's about as compact, not as heavy, but about as compact as copper, I would say. If you think about it, um, $2, right? 4 rolls of pennies would probably take up about as much space. This is a lot lighter than 4 rolls of pennies. If you can imagine using pennies for your daily trade, chocolate would probably go just as far. It's much more divisible than silver, right? If you wanted to pay somebody 10 cents in silver, it would probably be very difficult to see, right? Right now, a silver dime is worth about $2. So if you have to imagine dividing that into 20 parts, right? And the only downside is that how long do these things last? I know they last quite a bit. And the reason I know that is because when I graduated from Rochester Institute of Technology, I worked on my PhD there, and I left in a hurry. And a couple years later, I went back to see a professor of mine, and I had discovered I had shoved a bunch of stuff into this desk that I had long since forgotten about. And amongst my stuff in there was a box of chocolate from 3, 4 years ago at that point, and I ate it anyway. So I know it lasts at least a good 3 or 4 years. So definitely much longer than cigarettes would. And of course, you got a bigger audience. So leave a comment if you have another food item that you think would make good currency. Definitely a lot better than toilet paper, right? I can't imagine the price of toilet paper going up, even if people are hoarding it. There are just alternatives to it, right? There's no alternative to having something with calories in it, right? So, I don't know. I've always viewed chocolate almost like a currency for some reason. Thanks for watching.